Hello, hello. I believe we are live. That's weird. I stopped the stream and restarted it and it ended up working. I got a timer above me. Should drop by the end of that, so once that timer runs to 0, actually I think it's like a minute behind because I missed the button. But once that timer runs up at 0, we should be able to see the schedule drop. I have the estimations in the Google Sheet, which it's pretty long. I also have next month's estimations up as well. A gold ship week, and then another story event. But next month is also pretty packed with a lot of stuff just because it's the anniversary. How's my progress been going? I've just been working on... I've been kind of taking a little break. I think I've been doing like 6-ish parents a day. Sorry. I've been doing like 6-ish parents a day. I haven't done the ones right now. But I've been just working on getting Nimble Nav, since Aoharu is probably the best way to get Nimble Nav. When you have the gold skill, your chances of getting the spark double. So we're looking for No Stopping Me, or grabbing No Stopping Me makes getting Nimble Nav a lot easier. So I've been trying to get like Nimble Nav and Stand. Working on the Hishi Amazon will be my okay. Okay, I think it was the issues with all of the tabs that I had open. Yeah, okay, that was on my end. I think it's just I had too many tabs open and my PC was frying itself. So hopefully closing out of all of those ends up letting the stream work better. Anyways, hopefully it's caught back up. But this Shishi Amazon is gonna go into trying to hit a Miles Spark on that with the Nimble Nav and the Uma Stan, and I'm gonna cycle both of those onto a Narita Brian, because Narita Brian has a Mile Beam. So if you get 1 Miles Spark, it should up it. And I think I'm gonna do Narita Brian and Ogre Recap as my 2 grandparents. Debating whether or not to put like to do all of the parents in Mant. I think if I ran solo Tamama Cross, I can do the whole legacy in Mant. But if I wanted to run 2 other Umas in addition to Tamama Cross, I would end up having to have to prep these beforehand. So I've been kind of iffy, like, because it's like if I want to run, like, for example, Christmas Ogre, I probably have to get a Super Creek parent. If I wanted to run, I don't even know who else I would run out of like Tamamo Cross and Christmas Ogre. But right now that I'm just doing a Hishi Amazon, so I can get Narita Brian as one of my parents, or one of my grandparents, and then like all I'm looking for Cross is Nimble Nav. I don't think there's like any other skill that's like mandatory on her. Like obviously it would be nice to get, you know, some end closer stuff, like playtime's over, ramp up. Like all those skills are good. Corner recovery even, and like corner adept to make those cheaper. But the main one I'm looking for is like Uma Stan. I guess Uma Stan as well. But the main one I'm looking for is Nimble Nav, because I am not gonna bet. I don't really want to run Bijin. Like I don't think Tamamo Cross needs No Stopping Me. I think if you have like no other excels, you probably need No Stopping Me. Like Tamamo Cross gets 0.1 excel in her unique that carries over. So she'll have the 0.1 from there, hopefully Nimble Nav, and then hopefully Straightaway Spurt, and those 3 seem like enough for her, especially if you get really high power in terms of acceleration. So, but I'm going to put the most effort into Mama Cross since I don't think I'm going to run to Mama Cross anymore. I don't really like playing end closers on... I don't like playing end closers because I know once like Orfevre comes out, I'm just going to meta slave her on every single track that's longer than 2,000 meters. And so I kind of want to like step back from end closers. And I definitely want to get Narita Brian Blaze and do a like monster build instead. Hope to get spooked by Bijin, King Halo, and Airstreak. Yeah, Bijin would be... I kind of wish I had a copy of Bijin for Mant parenting, though. Because, like, the double chance on parenting, like, matters a lot. Like, I get Nimble Nev pretty often. Well, I mean, it's like a 70% chance because everyone in my legacy has it. Right? Like, this one hit, what? Nimble, Ramp Up, Nimble Nav, Straightaway Spurt, Umastan. But like every single one of my legacies have Nimble Nav, so it's a 70% chance to inherit it if I buy No Stopping Me. The parent deck is this. I kind of need Super Creek so I can win the Tenosho Spring. Like, I think it's impossible to win the Tenosho Spring without a stamina card. And I don't want to borrow like Manhattan Cafe. I just felt like it was too weak. So I just ended up just running my Super Creek. I think Bijin could probably go. Like, I don't need playtimes over. Like, it's nice. I haven't decided, like, what I would replace Bijin with. I guess I could borrow something else and then run my own King Halo. But this has been feeling pretty nice as my parent deck. Go for Spurt, Swinging Maestro, Corner Adept, Corner Recovery. This is just here so I can win more. I think the only ones I lose is, like, the Tenosho Spring. And like one of the early ones. Sometimes I lose the juvenile fillies. Hishi Amazon I don't really want to put in my actual legacy because she runs the triple tiara, which is like -7 affinity. And losing the 7 affinity when I can't when I'm not like doing the perfect parents in Mant is quite a lot. But I'm thinking that I'm going to do the Norita Brian because there's 6 aptitudes in Aoharu. And then maybe look to do a Miler in Mant. So I do like 1 grandparent and 1 main parent in Mant. But I don't know. That kind of sounds like a lot. Because it would be instead of... Like, I spent, I did 75 parent runs for this CM, so I had to cut that in half. And also there's not as much time, there's like a week less. Like, I'd get the runs done, and I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get my main parent. I'm not, like, too worried about affinity, because I really want TM Opera O. Am I back? I don't know what's going on with my upload. This is so weird. Yeah, always blame YouTube. I thought there was an issue, I think, like last week, where like English was banned in chats. I don't know what's going on with YouTube this like past couple of weeks. But yeah, last week I think there was an issue with like typing messages. Actually, no, like 2 weeks ago too, there was like a weird moderation in my chat where like nobody could type anything. I think that was like 2 weeks ago, and then last week English was banned. Because I remember seeing a whole bunch of like people had to like add random languages at the end of their messages. Okay. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, what I was trying to say is that I want TM Opera O as my main parent. And she can't run miles, so like there's not that much affinity that I'm losing out on by like doing parenting in Aoharu instead of fully in Mant. I think I mean, if I like really wanted affinity, it would be like Narita Bryan, Greek Cap, and like Symboli Rudolph as like my main three. But I think I'm gonna do Opera, because I kind of like her unique. I like her unique more than Symboli and... Actually, just more than Symboli. The Ogre main parent's not that bad. It's just... 6 affinities. 5 affinities. 6 affinities. It's so unfortunate that like all the good parents have so much aptitudes that you can hit. It's like the only... I guess Super Krika is like a good way to hit long. But I don't really want her as a main parent. Running Rudolph into Mama Cross. I think I'm gonna run Rudolph once Evos come out. Like once Dominator changes to like that her new skill, her version of Dominator is like extremely strong. So I think I'm gonna wait until that's out, and then I'll probably bring Symboli to a CM, since I do have her 4-starred. Like Akebona too, once she gets her Evos, I think I'll run her on a CM. I think I feel like I've done enough like off or not meta stuff with Haru, where I think on the other tracks I like playing more meta. How many hint books do I have? Where's the hint books and the upgrade items? Yeah. Hopefully once the first anniversary comes out, because that's when the hint books were introduced, like we should be getting a decent bit more. Not too much more. I'd say like they picked up the amount of hint books you can get when they changed the tickets, the club points. When they changed the club points into trainer medals, I think is what it's called. There was a lot more hint books available because you could buy them like monthly. I think also when they got changed, you can use the cleats for hint books. So I think that's at the 2nd anniversary. It might be at the 2.5 anniversary when they added more stuff into the shops. Nice. That's like an update of what I've been doing. I think I spent like 3-ish days just trying to get a decent White Sparks, so Ramp Up, Booma Stand, and Nimble Nav, and Corner Adept. Like these 4 were good enough for me to start, what's it called? Looping. So I got these 4 skills. Booma Stand's like the main important one. And I guess also Nimble Nav. These 2 were the main important ones, but Ramp Up and Corner at Depth were good enough where I feel comfortable looping it. But we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this parent run until the schedule drops. Wonder if they're gonna do any big changes. I don't think it'd be announced today. It would probably be announced like halfway through the first week of March, when we get the actual like news post for the anniversary. It feels so weird calling it a first anniversary. Is this a dirt heat? No, this is a parent. I think I am done with the M10. Well, actually, no, I'm not done. I probably will make a Dirt Nature debuffer. Actually, no, I don't really want to. Because I think 2 end closers is like the best form of debuffers. But I want to get Hesitant late on my debuffers. They're both missing Hesitant late. Always forget which one gives energy. But I'm just gonna redo my 2 debuffers when we get a little bit closer. Maybe I'll just do it today after I use up all my borrows on the parent runs. Making your dirt heat. I was debating on running Kishi Amazon for the Tenno Show Spring, but like, I don't know, Hishi's Amazon's kit is just so weak that I just feel like it's hard to put her on anything. To get advantage of the Mant Affinity, do you have to do the whole entire tree in Mant, or can you do the grandparents or Nahara and then the main parents in Mant? I mean, so affinity in general is just how many races together you have ran. So the advantage of Mant is that you can run 40 races and still like end up finishing your parent. Because I think like if you aimed for 40 races in Aharu, like it'd be really hard to get to the end of the scenario. But Mant, you can kind of get away with just only racing, right? Because that's the whole point of the scenario. You can get like around 40 to 45 races done. And the other thing is that because it disables career goals, like Hishi Amazon, for example, runs the triple tiara. So she cannot run the Satsuki show, the Derby, or the Kikua show. And like that is 7 affinity, or that's 6 affinity that you're losing out on if you do not win the Satsuki show, the Tokyo Derby, and the Kikua show. So like that's why Mant is the best parent making scenario. But like if like I finish this parent run with like the 23 races that I do, I think it's like 14 G1s that she ends up doing. Like, if you make a parent in Mant and you ran those 14 G1s, like, you'd still get the affinity from that. Mant is just like, if all 3 of your legacies did those 40 races, or the exact same 40 races, you'd be able to get the most advantage of it. How many fans do I get with this parent deck? 600k. I believe. It's like around 600k for just doing all the G1s. So yeah, to take the full advantage, you would have to do the entire tree. But if you were to do like all 40 races, because your grandparents didn't do like half of the races of those 40 races, you wouldn't get the affinity from it. But it's still worth like well, I mean, you have to like keep in mind how much time you have, right? Because the scenarios are so long, you'd have to play for quite a while to make up all of the races, or to like get through what, 3 parents at the minimum. I guess you can technically only have to do 2 parents if you borrow somebody who did all the races. Like, if you really wanted to sweat it, it's still like important to... Oh, can I not see all my sparks? Oh, yeah, it's through here. So like for example, I have Nimble Nav on everything here that I'm using. Nimble Nav, Nimble Nav, Nimble Nav, Nimble Nav, and Nimble Nav, which makes parenting easier because each instance of Nimble Nav increases my chances of inheriting it by 2.5%, and if I buy No Stopping Me, it increases it by 5%. How cope is it trying to make a Taishin Ace after Taishin Wit comes out? How cope is it? It's not like that bad. like, because the only reason why you're running Taishin Wit is for Encroaching Shadow. You just run a different Wit card, which usually would be on Miles and Mediums if for some reason you're running an Encloser. Medro Ramono. I don't know if there's a long exclusive Wit card out by the time that comes out. But like, the only reason why you are running Narita Taishin Wit is for Encroaching Shadow. Well, I guess you can grab Soaring Stride, but like the hints from it aren't like too important, especially if you're not on a long track. I need to buy Straightaway Spirit, but she is probably one of the weaker ones on release. I'd say like when Narita Taishin Wit comes out, Duramente is released, right, as an Uma? Or is that wrong? I think Duramente is out. I have to double check that. But I think like you'd have more issues trying to beat like Dura on because Rain is a really good skill on mediums, which is usually like the Tokyo Derby and stuff. Because this is the Excel, like that's not on long. I almost forgot to load the agenda. I think it's like less so that she can't run her own card, and more so... Actually, just Enclosers are kind of weak in general. The entirety of Enclosers are like lifted up by Orfevre. I think Gold Ship Blark isn't bad. Try and run Taishin as much as possible. But not having access to Encroaching Shadow makes it a lot, or not having access to Encroaching Shadow. But I don't think there is a long like Wit card or generalist long Wit card off the top of my head that comes out by the time it comes out. Oh my. Losing that one's super unfortunate. I don't know, Enclosers in general just don't have that much support. Most of the support is just like how strong your actual kit is. Like I think Enclosers generally have most of their stuff just in kit in order to be considered strong. Losing those two kind of sucks. Durando. I've been like okay, so I started because I like had nothing better to do. I started making, this is like super work in progress. I think I'm gonna link it to a different doc because I don't think it fits on the future release doc. But like I'm putting in like everything that I remembered that was used from now until the 5th anniversary, except some of the items, like some of the items between the 4th anniversary and the 5th anniversary, I am like super iffy about because that's when I stopped playing. But I have like most of the things that I remember, or most of like the Umas that I remember being strong, and then obviously all the cards that I remembered. I'm gonna try to have this done before the release of the first scenario. And then I'll add in like the notes and stuff. But yeah, I definitely do not remember Aishin being too strong. Outside of like the very, very early on when she was the only one who had access to Encroaching Shadow. UAF winning ticket was meta. A little bit. She was like, it's really hard to say, like, because after the like Evos, it's really hard to say that, to like say like you know how like Christmas Ogre or like Summer Marzensky or Valentine's Mihail Bourbon can hit like a whole bunch of tracks. When Evos came out, like the Evos made specialist Umas super strong for one specific race or like one specific track. So like Ines Fujin, for example, is extremely strong on the Japanese Derby because her entire kit revolves around the Derby. So like if you try to take her anywhere else, she isn't strong. But like in the Derby, she's like A tier. I'm kind of hesitant saying that she's S tier. Winning ticket UAF has like that similar thing where she is betweeners are really good on medium tracks when she comes out, but her entire kit revolves around the Derby. But I remember seeing her, which is why I have her in that list. That's also why I'm like saying like that this is a super work in progress thing, because it was just like every Uma that I remembered that was ran or like was said to be A or S tier on one specific track can make it onto that list. Holy, this is... I've been losing everything on the Tiara. But like, she's not meta. She was just like A tier on the Derby, which is why she gets included. Future scenarios, what style am I planning to main? Most likely Pace Chaser, just because all they print are Pace Chasers. It does suck not having fine motion for it, but like I'm probably gonna pull on El Condorpasa. I'm pulling on Agnes Tachyon. There's just like no support for the other styles. So, wow, this is a terrible parent run. As soon as I start streaming it, I've lost every single G. Actually, have I won a G1? Wait, how do I see my... I don't know how to do this. Wow, I haven't won a single G1. That is crazy. I think it's like my stats aren't even that bad. Running Hishi as pace makes it more consistent. It's because I insta-buy straightaway sprint for the miles, but maybe for the longer tracks, yeah, I should be swapping it. Like, I was doing fine for the past 3 on End Closer. So, like, I didn't realize this was a problem. And, like, my stats were similar on the other 3 parent runs I did. Yeah, let me actually here. Let me pull up the winning ticket because, like, I want to give you the example. The winning ticket, if you are top 3 most popular in a 2400 meter race, which is the Derby, right? The Tokyo Derby. As a late surger, you get a little bit stronger of an Anchors Away. You get 0.35 instead of 0.35 instead of 0.25. Her evolutions are 0.45 target speed if the track is the Tokyo Derby, and then her other one's just like a regular target speed increase as a late surger. But like her entire kit revolves around the Tokyo Derby, and like you will see her specifically for the Derby. It's why like I haven't like fully made a different doc for this. Because like I don't know how to organize it. But it's like lates are strong on mediums by the time she released. Like lates were strong by the time she released. And like she probably will win the derby that she was released for, right? But I'm not saying like she was meta, it was just she has a place, which is the derby. Like like the actual meta Umas are just the semi-limited ones. Like those ones can probably run. Those ones like run more tracks. Wow, I want to give up this parent run. Those ones run more tracks than just like their specialized ones. Though frontrunners, I think I've done like a notes I think on most of the frontrunners, but I don't know. I haven't decided how I wanted to organize it. I just wanted to put out the notes so I can like refer to that instead of like searching everywhere. I use bars for aces or parent runs. I use it for both. I do parent runs leading up to the CM, and then as soon as like I get one side of the legacy done with borrows, I start using borrows for my aces. I just use borrows for one side of the legacy. The reason why I'm doing like parent runs now is because I'm running solo ace for the next CM, so there's like no point in like there's nothing for me to like there's no ace that I want to make. Like there's no need for I can just use all the borrows for parents. So I've already finished my one ace that I'm running. I just want to give up this parent run. What am I running? I'm doing solo Haru. Haru's pretty strong. I think I have like when I go in rooms with Haru double debuffer, I get like a 40% win rate, I'd say. Like that's good enough for me. I think it would be a lot higher if I had a Suzuka, but can't end up. I mean, I just don't have Suzuka. Like I have no runaway. Yeah, I feel like there's like no point. Cause like this isn't even going to be a grandparent, so like I shouldn't be glowing it. Like I'm just looking for a Milespark with Nimble Nav on it. Does Blaze Brian have more value than Chris as outside of long CMs? I would never use Blaze Brian outside of a long. Anything after the second anniversary, or actually, I'm not gonna say the second anniversary. I'm gonna say anything after the Evo skills come out, like are gonna be really weak on tracks that they cannot run on. Losing an evolution skill, like makes you very weak. Like I would rather you run base Brian over Blaze Brian if you were to put her on something that wasn't a long track. Because like just like not having one of your Evo skills is extremely weak. And base Brian is not even that weak.
一番人気こそ譲りましたが、素質は負けていませんよ。次は一着取るからね。
Like they both kind of can only run. I want to clear this one so bad. They both can only run like the thing that they can run on. Actually, wait. Chris S, I believe, can run medium tracks. I think one of her long skills. Oh wait, no, because lose yourself doesn't. No, lose yourself is still a long skill. Never mind. I think one of her Evo skills. Holy, I'm so pale. I believe one of her Evo skills like lets her run on medium tracks, but I think lose yourself always is a long track skill. But her Halloween costume is meant for medium tracks. I think she's too weak on miles. You also really wouldn't run her for miles, just because that's like Pace's playground. Keep in mind also, like, all my advice is meaningless if you just plan on bringing her to anything that... Like, most of my advice in terms of, like, are gonna be for meta. There's no really advice if you plan on running a certain Uma for every CM, because, like, it's just good luck. Like, if you told me you were gonna run Haru for every CM, like, I literally have no advice for you. Actually, no. For Haru, I have advice for you, because that's what I'm planning on doing, especially once we get the aptitudes. But, like, there's nothing that you can really do. You just have to try your best. Are there even for medium gains a stamina recovery? For the base one? Yeah, that sounds terrible. I just know her Halloween outfit is like the one that people bring. Actually, I don't really see any Chris S. Like runners. But I know her other outfit is meant for her medium tracks. I think one of them has like a really weird, not really weird, sorry. One of them is like a team-wide buff, which has notoriously not been that strong. I need to buy some skills. Both versions. Yeah, I don't even think I have her in my... I don't think I have her in my list. I've never seen any Symbolis or Symbolic Assasses. I like her as a character. She's probably like top 10 for me. I just love her base outfit, unique. Pulling out a sniper rifle is so funny. Wow, my stats are... Maybe my stats are just... I don't know, because I literally had the same amount of stats on like all my parent runs. I didn't include Christmas Palmer in the new section in the doc. Is she worse than the original? Just Christmas outfit? Oh, she does. I don't think I've ever seen the Christmas outfit ran. When did that come out? Oh, the 2.5 Annie? Yeah, they're both meant for the Arima Keenan. Like both of their kits are just for the Arima Keenan. It doesn't look that bad. She has groundworks. She has early lead, long straights, 2 long skills. I mean, it just looks like it's just the same. Yeah, it looks like it's stronger than base Palmer. I just don't really see Palmers for the Arima Keenan anymore. Like, when the original Palmer released, she was ran on the one Arima Keenan after Mant during Grand Live, and that's like the only thing I remember. And then I would say that, like, Hidesen kind of just took her niche. Like, I think I only remember Palmer from the Grand Live Arima Keenan. But so you would basically be able to run her for one Arima Keenan in terms of like meta. Like she was prominent in one CM. I don't like when the Christmas version released for that Arima Keenan. When was that? Christmas version is 2.5 Annie, which is the Grandmasters 2.5. No, that's Law Arc, right? Law Arc's Arima Keenan. What do people run on Law Arc's Arima Keenan? Oh, you're asking questions that I am now just blanking on. Law Arc's Arima Keenan. Man, I genuinely don't remember what was good there. Is it Swimsuit McQueen? Sorry, Summer McQueen, not Swimsuit McQueen. No, I don't think it was Summer McQueen. I think it was a pace meta for La Arc. Because Medjero McQueen... Okay, it was not Summer McQueen. It was the Medjero McQueen Wit card released prior to that Arima Keenan. And I think that was the meta back then. It was double Wit La Arc with TM Opera O for Monster and Medjero McQueen Wit. I believe. This is all I just say, I just do not remember Christmas Palmer being a thing in La Arc. Wait, let me look at this again. No, it's because Medjero Bright Christmas released with her. No, it was Medjero Bright Christmas. I think that was the strongest one. I think Medjero Bright Christmas was stronger than Medjero Palmer Christmas for that CM. Yes. I think that's... Let me double check. Character list. Because on the banner was also Medjero Bright, right? And this... I believe... I think Lose Yourself Medjero Bright Christmas was the meta. Because she had a really big recovery, which was enough to, and she also had the current speed increase. I believe it was Medjero Bright Christmas, which is why nobody played Medjero Palmer. Mant comes out before CM finals, we'll know in like 10 minutes. I got stun locked by that question. But yes, I think it was Pace Chasers and with Medro McQueen Wit and TM Opera O Wit and Medro Bright and Late Surgers were strong. I think Medro Bright is still fairly strong right now. Just because she's a late surger. Like a lot of long tracks, if you wanted to play late, a lot of the times it would be Medro Bright. Mainly because I don't think there has been a late surger that was... Or there hasn't been like a really strong late surger on long tracks. Most of them are like catered towards mediums and sometimes miles. Which Uma would be the easiest train for finals? Like if you were to redo it in Mant? Probably... Ogre? Like I think if I were to... I'm assuming you mean for... Yeah, I would assume like Ogre could... Base Ogre could take the most advantage. I think like trying to improve... Well, in terms of like easiness, I don't think like making a Smart Falcon or a... Just like Marzensky or a Bourbon would be easy. Ogre could probably take advantage of it the easiest, just like do a late Ogre. Because you're gonna be wanting to run Nice Nature anyways. Why don't we wait until Mant for parenting? Oh, this is a great grandparent anyways. Like, if... Wow, 1 win. If you want like certain skills, like you need them in your legacy. Otherwise you are preying on a 20% chance every time. Whereas like if once I finish this Amazon, I'd have Nimble Nav on every single legacy. So then when I go into Mant and try to get Nimble Nav onto a Mant parent, at least that wouldn't be a like issue for me. That's like the basis of looping, is you just get... It's the same thing with Groundworks, right? You get all 6 of them with Groundworks, so when you make a parent, it's easier to get Groundworks. Like, if you are gonna raw dog Mant, and, like, let's say you run Bijin Wit for No Stopping Me, like, you're just spending an hour in Mant on a 40% chance if Bijin Wit finishes her chain. You're spending, 45 minutes to an hour on that 40% chance, while also needing to hit the correct blue spark and the correct pink spark. Like, you should probably, if you're like trying to sweat out parents in Mant. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel this. If you're gonna try to sweat out parents in Mant, like, I don't know, that sounds miserable. It's like a 2% chance to get the specific legacy you're looking for, and you'd have to do that 3 times if you didn't have certain skills. I think this is the worst parent I've done in the past, like, I don't even know, like, week? How many wins did she have? Of course this one gets the mile. It's a 1-star power, 1-star mile. 13 out of 22. That's crazy. There's also just like nothing else to do, right? That was terrible. I guess this one hit Mile. Like, I haven't, like, I don't know. I haven't lost that hard. It was just unlucky. That was crazy unlucky. Two SR wit for late in mile race, but don't include Marvelous. I mean, you can run, I don't know. I mean, if you want 2 wit cards and one of them isn't Marvelous, Dober's fine. Unyielding Spirit is kind of good. Like, you can get Slick Surge. And then, where's Kiseki? You can run Agnes Tachyon for 10 race bonus, though you would rather run Marvelous. Kiseki has mile stuff. Oh, I guess it's just mile corners. She also has the Unyielding Spirit. Unyielding Spirit's decent in miles. Measure Dober, if you finish her chain event, she gives you 1 hint to Slick Surge. But it would be rough to not run Marvelous Sunday. She's like one of the strongest wit cards to run. I mean, if you have this Dober, she has this, you know, the same 2 random events that you can grab, but this one has 10% race bonus. You get 5% here and 5% of your unique bonus. Just makes it a little awkward to finish your chains because obviously you don't want the bigger picture. But if you don't have like the other 2 SRs, then maybe you have the wedding Dober. I don't know what you mean by not late ogre. I'm assuming that's like you're talking about like from the original question of like who to train for Mant, but yeah, it would be late ogre. Like, because Nice Nature Wit is a really good card in Mant, so you would want to run late ogre. Dismantle Dober SSR. I mean, if you have, like, there's a lot better options. Like, Marvelous Sunday is a lot better option. But, yeah, if you don't have Dober, like, the 2 mile ones I would think about is Dober for the random event, or Kiseki for, for mile corners and Unyielding Spirits in the hints. I think even like the Haru I'm running has. Did I even get? That's not the Haru. Yeah, I didn't get anything but Hesitant Fronts. Actually, I think the Straightaway Adept is from. I think the 2 hints I got was Straightaway Adept because this was max hinted from the Kita-san event and from the Marvelous Sunday hint. And I got Hesitant Fronts. Would have liked Tail Held High over this. I think I glued the other the original Haru that I had before this one, I think had Tail Held High instead of Hesitant Front. But I think this is the one I'm going to be solo running it. Mars Limit Break 2. She's a really good. I think she's probably the strongest SR Wit card. Like, I always run her. Eventually my deck will be better. Just waiting on the 1st anniversary. Is the schedule out? Alright, let me mute this game. Ah, there it is. Open image, new tab. Okay. By doing this, I can zoom in. I need this. don't need that. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We got the first anniversary celebration starting on the 2nd. The Aquarius Cup starts on the registration starts on the 2nd, which we already knew, which means that what does that mean? Registration starts on the 2nd. We add 4 days, which means the actual CM starts on the 6th. So, and finals will always be a day before. I think the main thing is that we need to see when Kiedis and Black releases, which is when the scenario started, right? Which means that we won't have... Sorry, I'm trying to upload this banner into the Google Doc. I don't think Mant comes out in time. Where's Mant on finals? March 12th. March 12th. Second anniversary celebration starts on the 12th. Let me double check. Right? Because this is the part 2 of the second anniversary. The second anniversary is on the 24th of February. The scenario start should be when Kiedis and Black releases, or Narita Top Red releases, which means that this banner comes out on the final day, and the final day is for watching the... Or actually, no, it comes out a minute after the CM starts, right? Or sorry, the CM ends, which means there's no overlap. Do you think they learned their lessons from last time? Hey, I sweated one out. I still have... This is my Ogre is my... This Ogre is my daily race. This is my daily race Ogre. Right? November 7th, that's when the scenario started. But this was a pain to make. I think we ended up with 28 runs in those 24 hours. Or is it 36 hours? I think I did 28 runs in 36 hours for this Ogre. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any overlap. Right? Because the third scenario should start on part 2 of the anniversary celebration. That's how it always works. So no overlap. We have Admire Vega, part 2, Flying Run Up, which is the story event inside the anniversary, Satuno Diamond, part 3, the Legend Race. There's a part 4. I think part 4 is when they released the daily Legend Race. I think this date is for the daily Legend Race. Part 4, Medjuro Bright, and then the Pisces Cup. Which I think is everything that I estimated. I want to say part 4 was the daily Legend Race. I genuinely don't remember part 4. So it looks like the... Actually, we don't know if the trainer proficiency exam got cut off. Did they announce it? No, they didn't announce it for the last banner, right? I don't think they did that. Okay, yeah, no. The trainer exam isn't on it. So there's a chance. I think I was mainly correct on the March schedule. So I should probably double check. Pisces Cup is 2 weeks after Man start. The 12th into the 26th. It starts on the 30th. You have 18 days, right? Selector and shop bundles refreshes on the 2nd. No, it should be part 2. I don't think the selectors were on part 1 or the anniversary shop. Pretty sure it's a part 2 thing. Part 1, I think, is just the start of the 3,000 carats. Is it 3,000 carats? Oh, let me double check that. Uma Wiki. But I believe it's on part 2 is when the when you can buy the stuff. Part 1, I'm 90% sure is just the... Where is it? Presents. Yeah, this one. Oh, okay, no, it's 1500. Oh, no, it is 3000. That's not part 1. No, yeah, it should be the countdown. The single, like the 150 joules per day. How many SSR selectors can you get if you also buy the bundle? You can buy 1 selector, but there is a free one through missions. Anyways, I'm not gonna update. I'll do the updating off stream. Let's go into the breakdowns that I have. So first up, we have. Okay, this should work. So throughout all the missions, so part 1. Oh shoot. Part 1 will also have missions, which is these ones right here. Mainly it's just like playing the game. I don't have them all written out, but part 1's missions should come out with the part 1. And these were the rewards from the missions on part 1. I have all the login rewards from the part 1 until part 4, which is everything here. But these are the rewards for each individual part from the missions, and part 3 is when you get that selector ticket. So part 3 will be, if you go down here, on the 23rd. That is the part 3 mission. So the mission selector should come out for this. Because if we go back here, we can see here part 3 started, the 24th is when on the Japanese server, February 24th was the start of MANT. So it took them 10 days after MANT started for them to give the missions for the selector ticket. So it should be on the 23rd. You also have to do like a lot of runs to get this ticket. Well, actually, it's not that many runs. You have to win 50 G1s, which is like 6 runs. I think that's the hardest thing. Yeah, 6 runs. It takes 6 runs on the 23rd. Which means if you were to... Which means you'd have a week if you finished this mission on the day it started. You'd have a week left to use the selector ticket and get there. But the bundle, that the SSR card that you can buy, I'm pretty sure comes at part 2. So on the release of MANT, you should be able to buy the paid selectors. So that would be the paid UMA and the paid support card. But the selector ticket should come out here, which is also, I mean, like, there's still free pulls. There's like, what, the 60 free pulls? So you can't really play until then, essentially. But these are the different parts, the different missions that correspond with it. And then during MANT, we should be able to get about 30 fragments. I'm pretty sure I counted everything correctly, and there should be 30 fragments throughout the entirety of the 3rd scenario. There's also going to be the anniversary shop, which I believe released on the... I don't remember, I don't know, I saw this image, but I don't know who created it, so unfortunately I can't credit them. But they made a really good guide on, like, the total amounts of things that you can buy. The only thing that I wanted to say was that the hint books, I'm pretty sure, weren't added. Momen? Okay, yeah. So Momen made this, then. I sure hope you're right. I don't know, I saw the image, but I didn't see anyone credit them, like, credit where the image came from, so unfortunately I couldn't, like, actually credit them, but if it was Momen, then, they made a really good infographic. The only thing I wanted to add was that the hint books, I'm pretty sure, were added at when Satono Diamond was released, so part 3. So you should be able to buy everything but the hint books when part 2 of the anniversary, or when MANT releases. The hint books were added at part 3. So you can subtract the hint books for, like, at the release of the scenario. You'd have to wait, what is it, a week? 23rd? Okay, 11 days. It'd be 11 days later, the hint book should be added into the shop. So, but that's everything from the first couple of items. So I kind of added it all together. We have the Aquarius Cup, which we knew started on March 2nd. So March 6th is the last day of the, or is the first day of the CM. Which means, yeah, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th is the CM, and then finals will be on the 11th, or signups for the finals will be on the 11th. We have Admire Vega, so let me go ahead. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot was the Satono Diamond card, which I have here. There's going to be logins for the 2 days, which start this login one for Satono Diamond Wit comes out at the... It starts, I think, on the day of the scenario release, and it takes 10 days to log in and collect everything. Satono Diamond Wit is a late surger card. This is the anniversary card. It's not that strong. It forces you to run a Highlander deck, or at least 4 different types. So that would be like 2 speed, 2 wit, POW card, and like a stamp card or something like that. Something along those lines. But it does give, I think this is Lion Weight. Let me go back to global. It gives Lion Weight, which is a pretty reliable late surger recovery skill. I think it will be helpful if you don't have one in, like, for the Tenno Show Spring. Though it's just a pretty weak card. I wouldn't, like, this is also, you know, it can give you the white version, which would really suck to do a 50-minute run in the 3rd scenario and then get the white version of your recovery skill. It's a little awkward to run. Like, I don't think it's that good. It's a pretty welfare card, but it does give late surgers a recovery skill. Yeah, Rob Roy has 0. This one at least has 5. I just think like the unique effect is very awkward. Like, because if you were to run like a Guts deck, you would want just Guts and Wit. And if you were to run a Speed Wit deck, like using your 2 flex slots on 2 random types is a little bit awkward. I don't think it's like, I mean, it's a welfare card, right? But it does come with a recovery. Maybe you can look to use it in a build. But this is the anniversary card. And actually, I don't even know if you can use it for the Tenno Show Spring. Part 3? I guess you can, if you grind out all the missions here. Yeah, if you grind out all the missions here, you'll have a week to use the max limit break version of it. It's just a really awkward card. It's just a welfare card. But now, okay, now to the actual banner. We have Admire Vega. Admire Vega just isn't that strong. She has 2 really awkward skills. She has Serenity, which needs you to be blocked in front by a second or longer, which is like not that consistent. Like Level-Headed isn't that consistent. This is a really awkward skill to use for consistency. She also has Storm and Stress. There's no shot I'm pronouncing that. Which is also another awkward skill, because this is a phase random during your, like, while you're accelerating. Actually, did they fix this? No, they haven't fixed it. So like right now, I think it's a really awkward skill. And also her unique is really bad. To get the max, or like to get the better version of it, the 0.45, you have to be 7th or lower. Which is like, if you're 7th or lower on the final straight, you're like most likely losing. So you're most likely, like, in order to win off of your unique, you most likely have a 0.35, which is just weaker than like the people's 0.45. She doesn't have to be, no, she has to be 7th or lower for the second version of it, which will never happen. Like, you just have a 0.35 target speed increase skill. Like, if you were to win from 7th place off of just, like, off of this unique plus other stuff, like, I just don't think that's really that possible. So you mainly just have a 0.35 target speed. Why do other Umas call her Ayabe? Her actual nickname is Adobe, because that's how, like, they pronounce her name, right? Like, Admire Vega is kind of a hard name to pronounce in Japanese. So it's Adobe, and they changed Adobe because I'm presuming because of the software to Ayabe. But her actual nickname was Adobe or Adobe. I think when the Evos come out, Common Collected gets changed to Near Lane, so like it's very similar to like Nimble or No Stopping Me when they change it. I think right now it still is the blocked version, but which is still like kind of inconsistent. Like you kind of still don't want Common Collected. It gives you a little bit of target speed when evolved. And like this one at least is during the first half of the late spurt. But Admire Vega just isn't that strong. I think her unique is just too weak. In addition to, you know, having Common Collected or Serenity. Not Common Collected is an actual skill, right? It's Serenity. But like she's kind of usable once Evos come out. I just think her unique is just very, very weak. But I mean, I guess if you want a parent for medium, she only has end in medium. Which is kind of funny. She does have Nimble Nav in her innate skills, which is fairly good. Is straightaway spurt from her event guaranteed? I believe it's one of these events. Oh no, it might be her secret event. No? I have no idea where she gets spurt from. Yeah, I have no idea where she gets spurt from. I think she's just too weak. It might be just from one of these races. It might be a race event. I didn't even know she had spurt. Yeah, I mean, she's like... You wouldn't want her skill. But I just think she's just too weak. I just... Serenity or... Is it really called Serenity and not Common Collected? What skill's called Common Collected? Oh, Common Collected is the Pace Chaser skill. Interesting. Yeah, I think she's fairly weak. That's Admire Vega. Admire Vega has the Fine Motion rerun, so if you were planning on pulling on that, this is a day before round 1 begins if you are waiting on Fine Motion to make your Aquarius ace. So you'd have a day after the release of the Fine Motion banner to be ready for the first round. If this is from a career goal, then it's not valid for Mant. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't really see that many in my Vega players. Her other version is decent. It's not the wedding version, sorry. I keep thinking this is the wedding version. Her Christmas version is decent in the Derby. I think this version is just only the Derby. Yeah, she's a Derby exclusive. But she has a current speed, which is fairly strong. So I've seen her Christmas version. I don't really see her base version. Two speed, 2-8. Creek Rico, and it would work. Yeah, I mean, it's just like an awkward card, because it's like it's weak as a wit card, and it only gives 5 race bonus. And like theoretically, you would want your wit cards to be 10% or more. Yeah, like it's just awkward because like the rest of your deck needs to be extremely strong to run Satono Diamond Wit for Lion Weight. But like I won't like say it's completely useless. Like there's use cases for it. Obviously, like if the rest of your deck isn't strong and like maybe you can't borrow Creek and you need to run it. Like maybe you need to borrow Bijin Wit for No Stopping Me as a late surger. So you would have to run, and like you don't own your own Creek, so like the only way to get a recovery skill is through Satono Diamond or something like that. It's on one of her events. I see. Sorry, she wasn't. I just don't remember her ever ran. Is Kaden Black only good on long, or can she be good for medium front runners as well? She's a long track runner. I don't know. I'll go over her kit. But you don't really run her on medium. Actually, you can kind of run her on medium because she has her second version of the trigger. Because if it's the third corner of the race, you'll get just target speed increase. It's a pretty weak target speed increase. But like if we go into the Hanshin, for example, or the Derby. Is there a Derby? Yes, there's a Derby. So like Kitasen Black would get target speed increase here or here. And I think on the Hanshin 2200 it can carry over. She's not the strongest medium race runner, but she can be ran, right? Because her unique, if you aren't getting the acceleration version on a long track, because it needs a straight, which is like the Arimakina and the Kikosho, the Tenosho Spring, you get the third corner version. It's just like, it's always a lot harder to overtake into first place than it is to like maintain first place, right? Like I think, but on a medium tracks you can kind of make up for it. Like Kitasen Black just in general needs a really strong deck because like you can't run Kitasen Black, but she is a lot stronger on long tracks because she gets the acceleration version, or she gets the acceleration in addition to her target speed. She comes with early lead in her kit. So she has early lead here. She has taking the lead here, so actually that's kind of obvious that she would have early lead on her innate skill. Yeah, overtaking on a corner is really rough. Like you have to be already in first place without a unique, which is why like she can be ran on mediums, but it's like you want to be first place when you trigger her unique. I guess you can be second, but like it's gonna be really hard to overtake because your only excel is angling and scheming on those medium tracks. So like this is more so like you were already in first place, especially if people bring runaways onto the medium track. But anyways, she has long distance straights gold, which means that you essentially don't have a gold skill, right? Like you have taking the lead, which is good because you don't have to run Mihono, Bourbon, Wit, but you just won't have another gold skill. So someone like Mihono, Bourbon, Valentine's will have Escape Artist and her mid-race skill and concentration. Like I think it's just a lot harder to compete against someone like Mihono Bourbon on a medium track. Her evolution just gives her more excel onto taking the lead. This one gives 0.1 more target speed increase. I think this new one just recently came out. Like this is like the newest Evo that she got, which doesn't matter because both her anime version and her New Year's version is stronger. But you will not see this Evo. This Evo is like super current. Like I think this came out on the 5th anniversary. But she will always just be a long track runner. Her new version, or not her new version, but her New Year's version. That's what I meant to say. Her New Year's version is a medium track runner. She gets Escape Artist, she gets Groundwork, she gets Taking the Lead. Her unique works on the last 600, which gives you current speed, which is instant excel, right? Like if you got 1 second of 0.3 excel, this is what current speed does. But this is the last 600 meters during a final leg corner, which is medium tracks generally. It's during phase 2. So you get instant excel plus a 0.1 excel, and I assume you're borrowing, or I assume you're going to inherit angling and scheming, which is more excel. Her evolutions are just like the same thing. Just increase second, increase acceleration. But her New Year's version is the medium runner. Like, if you were a solo Kitasen runner, you would run her base form on long tracks and the New Year's version on medium tracks. Sorry. Kind of yapping a lot. Her anime version power creeps her base version in terms of Kitasen Black. So this is a better version of the long runner because she has one Sky 1 goal, which only her and Mayano Top Gun have. Well, I guess it came out in Deck with Scarlet Wit, which is like the best front runner Wit card right now. What's my feels about Evo's coming for Mant? I'm in the camp that it won't come out because I just think, like, because the thing is, like, after Evos, there's kind of like not that much change in the game. I guess the new Zenkai Spurt has redefined stamina, which I've been like talking to a couple of people who are testing it. So like that's kind of a game change. But between Evos and like the 5th anniversary, there just wasn't really much change in the game. So like I think they would probably wait. Yeah, I mean there was a bug with the new Zenkai Spurt where if you went to 0 stamina, you instantly dropped to the minimum speed. But they fixed the bug. But like that's where all the clips of like the person in first who Zenkai spurted like instantly died was because they forgot to put de-acceleration into the game. So like they were running at like 30 meters per second and they instantly dropped to I think 50 or actually I think to 14 meters per second. So like they instantly halved their speed because there was no de-acceleration from top speed to lower. Like if you watch people stam out in our game right now, like you can see them slow down. Like it was just an instant drop. Okay, enough yapping about the JP server. Part 2. So part 2 is when Mant releases, which should be after you are finished watching your finals. Like as soon as the window to watch your finals ends, the new scenario should start. Did I miss anything? No, I haven't. Oh, I forgot to talk about Tannhauser. I forgot we got a new 2-star. Hold up. Let me go to Tannhauser. Sorry, let's backtrack a little bit back to the Kidison banner and talk about Tannhauser. I almost moved on to Narita Top Road. Tannhauser is a late surger. She has a stamina recovery. Does she release with... I don't know if it released with a target speed increase. It must have, because they already buffed Tachyon's recovery skill. Yeah, Tannhauser has a recovery unique. It's a very safe late surger. It is 3rd to 6th, so like technically you could run it on pace, though she's stronger in late surger. She has, I don't know what the skill is called in Unruffled, which is a terrible skill. Is surrounded in like one of the worst conditions to have. And then she has her long skill, Overwhelming Pressure, which was exclusive to Fukukitaru. Like Evos, like this, she just essentially doesn't have one of her gold skills. And then Tremendous Pressure gives acceleration, stam recovery. It becomes like a mini festival when you overtake someone during the final leg. You get a white heal, 8.1 acceleration, which is good, and then an increased target speed. But like Tremendous Pressure is always awkward because like theoretically the times you are overtaking somebody is when you're still accelerating, right? Like your idea of a late surger is that you're overtaking somebody because you have more power or more acceleration than like the pace in front of you. So you almost never see this target speed increase. You just use it for the acceleration. But it comes with a white recovery on evolution. Obviously this is a 2-star, so like they didn't make her that strong. But the main thing is that she has a unique here. A gold skill for 0.1 acceleration is extremely expensive. Like even buying the white version is 0.05. But she's a very, very, very safe, long late surger. She's very free to play friendly. And then I'm sure you've seen like everything on the top road. She's only used in Mant. That's about it. I think this card is fake. And I guess there's also the Admire Vega SR Guts card if you're doing a Guts build in this banner. But I won't go over that because I've argued enough about it. We have Flying Run Up as the story event for the anniversary. This comes with... what's the card here? Meguro Bright? Yes. Meguro Bright is the Flying Run Up card. Meguro Bright is a stamina card that is pretty weak. I would say, like... I mean, it's Mant. You would want a card with more than 5% race bonus. She, like... This is probably, like, one of the smallest lists I think I've seen for, like, effects. But she has 0... like mood effect or training effectiveness, which means all she contributes to a training that isn't stamina is 5% for showing up. She gives you overwhelming pressure, which I already went over with Tannhauser. It's a really bad skill. Actually, does it even come with acceleration? I didn't know it didn't have acceleration attached to it. Was that really an update? What? Even with the update, with or without the update, the skill sucks. But for some reason, it's not. She always gives it to you as a welfare card. Yeah, I thought it was 0.5 and 0.1, but I guess that was an update. I don't know. Like even with the update, it was just not a good skill. But that's Meguro Bright. It's a long track exclusive stamina card. And that is the Flying Run Up story event. And then at the end of the Flying Run Up story event, which I don't think had... Yes, Flying Run Up didn't have the hint books. The hint books were introduced into the story events after that. So once we get to Ballroom Seiun Sky and Ballroom Fuji Kiseki, we'll get hint books from the events. I thought it was with Flying Run Up for some reason. But next up we have Satano Diamond and the card that comes out with her. Satano Diamond is a late surger. She has... her unique isn't that bad. It's a pretty strong late race. You need to be 5th to 2nd. And, you know, be within 5 meters, which is 2 lengths. Otherwise, you just get the 0.35. This condition, like, sometimes is most, like, I'd say it's like 50-50 whether you get the 2 meter version or you're not within 2 lengths. Sorry, not 2 meters. But it's a pretty easy to trigger condition, right? Like, you should be 5th to 2nd. I mean, this is just essentially T-pulse. Like, you should be within 5th to 2nd at the last straight. The last straight is one time is just like you've entered the last straight. I don't know why they had their own individual one. The schedule is missing early throne. Wait, you're right. Yeah, there's no throne. There's no throne, guys. Like, that was genuinely... that one really annoyed me. Okay, she has Lion Weight, which is a good recovery skill for late surgers. Both the Satano Diamond... I mean, you wouldn't be able to run Satano Diamond Wit, but Rob Roy is not that strong of a card. So Lion Weight's a pretty consistent recovery skill, but she also has Right-Handed Demon, which is kind of awkward, right? Like, it's a pretty expensive skill. Her evolutions, it's like still going to be a recovery skill. You can get some target speed, which is kind of good in the opening leg on long tracks. or you can get like no recovery and a decent target speed increase. Usually you want that to like try to exit pace down mode. And then she gets 80 stats instead of 60 from her evolution. She's a very like safe late surger. I mean, she's just like a better version of Tannhauser, essentially. I guess technically you can put her on pace, but like Lion Weight kind of wants her to be a late surger. But she's a long track runner. Try not to remake T-Pulse. I think T-Pulse is better. Right? Like, being within 2 links is a harder condition. But she usually wants to be on long tracks because, like, as a late surger, your best chance of being within 5th to 2nd within 2 links is, like, on a long track. Because you're trying to make up the distance on that last straight. I think that is her. I guess Feature Act is technically a pace chaser skill, though I don't know. No innate recovery as a pace chaser on a long track kind of is rough. But that is Satono Diamond. Not too strong. I mean, when Lose Yourself comes out, she'll probably be stronger just because she has Lion Weight. You can go Lion Weight and like swing in Maestro plus Lose Yourself and be fine. Okay, on that banner we have Marvelous Sunday Guts. This card sucks. You get 5% race bonus, 5 TE, 30% friendship bonus, and 60% mood effect when you're full gauge. I think like the main issue is that it's a Guts bonus. Like, all this card really does is train Guts, and if you were to run a Guts deck, you want speed and power, because if you are running a Guts deck, generally you have 3 to 4 Guts cards. You almost always will max out Guts. Your goal is to try to max out speed and power. So like the better Guts cards are cards that can give you speed or power bonus. Same thing with Umas. Like, you don't want to run a Guts deck on a Uma with Guts bonuses, because like if you're running that many Guts cards, you're going to max out Guts even on 0%. You need the speed and power bonus to max out those two in addition with Guts. She has the same hints as her other cards, but no hint prio, no hint levels, and then she gives Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush is useless. By the time you can proc this, like, you're going to have a slower spurt. You're gonna run slower until you can proc Adrenaline Rush, and then she'll be like, oh, I can run the rest of the race. So this card just isn't good. Like, Guts cards, you just always want that speed or that power bonus, or both, like Advire, Vega. So it's a very, very bad card. We have the Legend Race, which I had an image of it, but looks like I had an image of it up earlier. Where is it? But it's going to be Agnes Tachyon, then Narita Taishin, then Narita Bryan. And these stats should be fairly easy to beat when you're doing Mant. Like, I'm assuming you're gonna do, like, you know, redo your team trials. You can just throw in any medium racer, hopefully, and beat these stats. I don't know what part 4 is. I don't remember there being a part 4, but most likely it's the daily legend race, because on the JP server, the daily legend race was implemented on the release of Meguro Bright, and part 4 coincides with Meguro Bright's release. So I want to believe that this part 4 is the daily legend race. And the daily legend race is just all the Umas here, except Kurin-chan. Once a day, you can race against them to get 1 star piece if you win. If you're missing like trophies for legend races, like for example, the first one was like super early into the release of the game. If you're missing their shoes, you can race against them and get that trophy. Also, I think you get the first win bonus if you don't have their trophy yet, which is 150 carats and 10 of their fragments. The main thing that you lose out on is the 80 fragments from like when the legend race was running. That's going to be that legend race. I think the next one after this one is going to be 2 months after. So there's going to be a pretty big gap between Agnes, the legend race next month, and the 12th one. They kind of slowed down the pace of the legend races as we got further. Generally, there's 3 per scenario, I want to say. Except one scenario where I think they only ran it once. And then we have the Pisces Cup, which is the Tennis Show Spring, but it's on the Hanshin track because in 2022, the Kyoto track was under renovation, so there's a different track for the Tennis Show Spring. That's going to be everything for this, I believe. No, I missed Medjo Bright. Sorry, I just wanted to end it. I'm kind of losing my voice. Within week 4, we should get the main story, chapter 6, which comes with the Team Serious group card. You're gonna want a copy of this because when main story chapter 7 comes out, you need to run this card to unlock the special week skin, the Arima Keenan skin. So try it. I mean, actually, I guess you can't complete one copy of it. So, but you want to unlock at least one copy. Actually, no, you'll always get one copy from, because it's a main story event. Sorry. This is a group card. I'm not going to go too into group cards, but group cards are like PAL cards. They have different dates. The main thing is that once you unlock like the actual date event, they'll have a thing called Passion Zone. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around here. Yeah, they'll have a thing called Passion Zone, which is why they have the friendship bonus. So they have a friendship bonus because when you're entered the Passion Zone, which lasts like 2 to 4 turns, they will be considered as a rainbow training. Is it worth max limit breaking or just getting one copy? I think this card sucks. But I think there's been a lot of like example decks of like Guts decks and like other stuff where people have used it in their deck. It is a stat card. I mean, it's a PAL card in a scenario without a PAL, right? I think the card sucks. Like, I think you should just run a standard deck. But just like the double PAL, deck in Aoharu, like there was a lot of people in the 3000 meter who ran Tazuna and Rico. I personally don't think that it works, but it can work. So it's up to you. It's a, I mean, you just need club points for it, right? It's a main story event card. So if you feel like you like the way that the decks, like somebody uses the Team Serious group card and you like it, then go for it. I personally don't like the card, but I think I'm also spoiled by how strong Throne and like the Ancestors and Guides were, and like this card just isn't that strong compared to them. But you do, I mean, you will get one copy, and it's not like you can complete your only copy, but you will need Best in Japan once the 7th main story comes out. But I don't really want to go over group cards. I think I'm really bad at explaining like certain mechanics. There's been like really good YouTubers now who go better in depth than I do. I feel like I always like leave out something. But that's gonna be on the 4th week. It should be on the same timing as the Medjo Bright release. It might be like a couple days earlier. Also, with Medjo Bright's release, we should get the trainer proficiency exam. It's really awkward that it released like right before the CM. But like I think either a couple of days or like around when the CM started, the trainer the trainer exam started. What else am I missing? Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to go over. We will go on to Medjo Bright. Measure Bright is a end closer on release, but she should be ran as a late surger once Lose Yourself comes out. Her skill is the first of its kind. I think the next version is Summer McQueen, I want to say, who also has this special scaling. But she has a base duration of 5, and the duration scales with your current HP. Generally, this lasts until the start of the late race on tracks that are 3,000 meters or greater. So that'd be the Kikosho and the Tenosho Spring. On those two, this skill should last from the 50% mark all the way up until the start of the late race. Never inherit it. This is super weak. 50% is also when pace down ends, so it's like this isn't strong enough to enter overtake mode. But you will just be 0.15 target speed faster outside of like the random wit rolls. But generally this type of special scaling means that you want to run on either the Kikosho or the Tenosho Spring, 3,000 meters plus. I don't think it's that strong, mainly because that type of this scaling doesn't matter because Tamamo Cross can do the exact same thing with carryover, just a little bit later, like on the Tenosho Spring. She gains Indomitable, which is a pretty inconsistent. It's not that inconsistent on long tracks, I guess. But you have to be passed by somebody during the mid-race to get a 5.5%. She has yet another recovery skill, which is of Calm Mind, which is 7th to 4th, which means you should probably be a late surger, because it needs to be during the first half. It needs to be during the mid-race of the first half, and I think as an end closer, there's too high of a chance to drop out of this. But it's a 7.5% recovery and a minus 0.15 current speed, but it only lasts 1.2 seconds, which on a 3,000 meter would be 3.6 seconds. Her Evo skills just give her more recovery, which is why you kind of want to you want to be a late surger once Lose Yourself comes out. When she releases, like, Symbolic Chris S doesn't come out for like a while. She also comes out the day of the Tenosho Spring, which is like the track she would want to be ran on. So like you don't have Lose Yourself, and like you come out on the same day as the one race that you could probably perform well in. The next long track is the Arima Kinen, which like the mass amount of recoveries doesn't really help, which means the next time you would run Meijiro Bright would be the Tenosho Spring of next year. Also, her Christmas version is just significantly stronger, so I rated her pretty low. But that is Meijiro Bright. And then the last thing that I wanted to go over was, on Meijiro Bright's release, we should have part 3 of the tutorial missions, which I think just consisted of playing the game. I don't think there was anything too hard from the part 3 trainer roads. The last one we had was the Sashes. This mission has all of these rewards, and a round 2 SSR ticket, which I think we got one of them. I can't remember why we got it for. Was it just a random booster giveaway? But it's just random support cards prior to... Oh, I didn't finish this. Prior to Current Wit. This should come out, I believe, when Meijiro Bright releases. So both this and the trainer exam should come out when Meijiro Bright releases. But like, it's just tutorial missions. You know, start a career with double circuit compatibility. Start your career with a 3-star blue, 3-star pink. Win a G1 by 7 lengths. Like, it's just all the tutorial stuff. I don't think anything in here was that hard. Yeah, none of this is like that hard unless you're like completely new to the game. But I think that's everything. Does anyone have any questions? I will update like how the I will update the estimations on everything though while I look. Let me go to PvP. So I estimated that the Pisces Cup was going to start 324, but it's starting 326. No early throne. It's such a stupid rumor. I'm like 90% sure the early throne came from the reference doc, because Urzi put in there, if throne was released early, you would want to pull on it, and like that's the only reason why people said early throne. Like, but no, I mean there's no throne here. I like, it makes no sense why they would move throne up. I guess if they wanted money, but like it was a very dumb rumor that was put out. But no, I think like if throne released next, like in April, it still wouldn't be worth pulling on, because like you're pulling, like people already don't want to play scenario attacks for a 4-month scenario. Paying for it for 3 months is also really rough. Should you pull on Fine Motion when you have 0 copies of it? If you have 60,000 carats and you have nothing else to pull for the next 3 months, I would pull on it. Otherwise, like, not really. I would need a little bit more information than that. Alright, let me see. I had that this banner was going to start on the 2nd. It is starting on the 5th, so I was 3 days off. I see. Let me see what else. I had this banner starting on the 10th, but it's starting on the 12th. I had this banner starting on the 18th, but it's the 22nd. Wow. And then this banner is the 26th. Actually, the gap between Satano Diamond and Megio Bright is super short. 4 days. I think the gap on the Japanese server was like 13 days. Wait, so they slowed down for Mant, but then they picked back up at the end of the month, because the distance between Satano Diamond and Megio Bright being 4 days is extremely short. Just joined, does that mean no Mant Aces for CM10? Yes. Mant should start on the Norita Top Road banner. This Aquarius Cup ends on the 12th. 9:59 p.m. on the 12th. The banner starts 10 p.m. the 12th. I mean, I complained about it too. Like yes, I worked for it, but it was such a stupid decision to have 36 hours. Yeah, I think they slowed down early on so they could push Mant further out. Because I mean, I thought it was coming out, I think the 9th is what I had when I had it. I think I had it for March 9th, which might be one of the reasons why, you know, maybe there's overlap. But if they push it all the way down to the 12th, then like delaying it by 3 days should push it out of the CM. How many carats do I have? I think I have 45k now. 45k? Yeah, I think like in total I have like 50k. Alright, sorry. Let me update it. Update this. So I have... What do I need to do? I need to drag this down to here. Remove this border. That is annoying me. Remove. Right to down. What am I using my selector on? I'm going to use it all on Nice Nature. This sum needs to go down to 39, I think. Which means this sum needs to go down to 40. Still looks like it's slowed down a bit. Right? Yeah, really weird that there's a 4-day gap between these two banners. Actually, does this go down to 40? This go down to 39. No, it needs to go down to 40. So what is this? 1 point or 44.9%? No Uma selector? Oh. For Uma selector, I'm gonna grab Metro Dober. For like the couple of medium CMs that I want to run and closer or late surger on. Am I pulling on any banners in man? I'm probably gonna pull on Nishino Flower. I think it's Nishino Flower and Mr. CB Wit. I don't think I can afford King Halo Cheerleader, which I kind of want for Haru. But I think I'll just borrow it for Haru. Like, I don't think I can win a single CM with Haru. Like, I don't think I'm winning the mile or the sprint, even if I own King Halo Cheerleader. So, I think I'm gonna ignore it. But it's gonna be Nishino Flower and Mr. CB. I'm gonna do 200 pulls on those two, and then I'm gonna drop 400 pulls on Light Hello and Agnes Tachyon. I will not be pulling for Kitasen, Black, or Saiyan Sky. No. I don't play front runners. How many scenarios does Max Limit Break Creek last? If you have a Max Limit Break Creek, there's a... I think I also put it in my review here on Sounds of Earth. I don't think it's like worth upgrading from Super Creek to Sounds of Earth. Like, I think it's just very expensive. Especially with like all the other cards that you would want to pull on here, like whether that be Pasta Speed, Duramente Speed, Measure McQueen Wit, which is like the de facto pace wit card until Forever Young. Like, I think there's just too many other good options if you already own Super Creek to pull on Sounds of Earth. But you should pull for Airshakir Stamina. So, like, at the minimum, it'll last until Sounds of Earth if you really wanted to upgrade here. If you had like 60k carats to drop for Sounds of Earth, then this is how long Creek would last to. Otherwise, you can run on Creek until Airshakir Stam. Well, the stamina mechanic, so until 2027, yeah, it should last until like halfway through 2027. But like the Sounds of Earth stamina would be the first instance where like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade Super Creek. Like this, oh, whoops. This is like the first card that like you might want to upgrade because it is a better version of Super Creek. But like all you get is Beeline Burst if you don't need a recovery skill. Like if you need stamina but you don't need Beeline, or if you need stamina but don't need Swinging Maestro, like Beeline Burst isn't that much stronger. I mean, you probably get like one more white skill with the SP that you get from Sounds of Earth. But yeah, I would say if you own Maximum Break Creek, you can think about holding until Airshakir Stam. McQueen Wit looks like it lasted a long time. Yeah, there's just no other Wit card. Like, Metro McQueen Wit is just very strong. I don't think you would replace, if you were playing Pace Chaser, you would replace it until Forever Young. Forever Young is just way too strong to not run. But like, I don't know. Symbolic Rudolph Wit wasn't that strong. I guess maybe you want Metro Art on power instead of pulling on Tamamo Cross power. But like, I don't think this banner is really that worth it. Like, if you get really unlucky in the free pulls from the New Year's event, like, I don't think it's worth dumping here. So you can just run Measure McQueen Wit until Forever Young. That's Rudolph Wit is a really good general card. It's a really good general card, but you realistically only want to run one Wit card. And like, Pace has Measure McQueen. End closest have Narita Taishin Wit. Front runners will have Daiwa Scarlet Wit. So like the only person that would use Symboli Wit is late surgers. But late surgers in, 5 months get Daring Tack Wit, which is the strongest Wit card on release until Forever Young. Like in terms of stat gain, Daring Tack Wit is the strongest Wit card. So it's like, it just kind of has no place. Like, yes, it's a good general card, but it's not stronger than a style-specific card. You only use one Wit card in the arc? Kind of. I mean, you can get away with two. If it's like a really good skill, you can think about running it. But there's except this long track, I would say like L'Arc you can get away with like a Guts deck. But it's like really awkward to run double Wit in L'Arc. Mainly because like how much wit you get off of either Meijiro Ramono or like Meijiro McQueen. I guess Manhattan Cafe is kind of in that tier list as well. Like you get Mihono Bourbon, kind of. I mean, I think you can run like on the miles and mediums. You can probably get away with 2 wit because like the skills are so much more important. But like La Arc is like the current Beyond Dream scenario on JP. It's a shorter scenario. You lose out on 6 turns. So like it's 6 less training turns. So it's like I don't know, it's really awkward to run um double wit. If you have Measure Ramono already, you skip McQueen. Not necessarily. Like if you're if you are a specific style, like I would say after like on the release of Mihono Bourbon Wit, which is why these are like all color coded, like you really want to main one style because that style specific card is very, very strong. Meijiro Ramono, you run in mediums and miles and mediums, but like Meijiro McQueen Wit is like as strong as it, but it's like a pace. You're just locked into pace. How can they manage to increase the stat cap with less turns? By making the training facility stronger. Every scenario will give you more stats the farther along we get. But like L'Arc decks, I don't know. They're like generally you only run 1 wit. Like I think like most decks are like speed guts, and then on the 2 long tracks or maybe the medium track, you run 3 speed, like 1 stam, 1 wit, or 2 speed, 2 stam, 1 wit. Like I think L'Arc is really awkward running 2 wit cards. Is it stronger to be generalist and play the style that works on the track the best, or to focus on a specific style? I mean, you will lose to a specialist on that track. Like the general cards just aren't strong enough. Like your general cards would be what? Symbolic Rudolph Wit, Almond Eye Speed, Tamamo Cross Power, Stay Gold Guts, or what's the previous one? It's just like skills are just too important. And also like you would, I mean, if you wanted to be a generalist, you would need to like also pull for the meta Uma, right? So that would be pulling on Jungle Pocket, pulling on Gentle Donna, pulling on Orfevre, pulling on Chronogenesis, pulling on Ogre Cap. Like you would have to also own the meta Uma and the generalist cards. Whereas if you just focused on one style, it'd be a little bit easier. Like you can see how many highlights there are. Like there's no way a free to play can afford, or not even free to play. Like even a light spender could afford it to pull for most of the generalist cards, because you just have to upgrade too often. Like keep in mind you do have a borrow slot, so like you can probably double dip into 2 different styles, but it's just like the specialist cards are just so much stronger. Like having skills that you can use, like there's only a certain amount of corner adepts and straight adepts in the game. Like you're just there's just isn't enough white skills or generalist white skills to in order to spend all your SP on. Like that's the main issue. Like if we go into the skill list now, oh, I think this is gonna destroy. Like I mean, yes, there's a lot of skills. I actually wonder if they can, but like, there's like all of these skills for pace, right? We can just like look at the whites, but there just isn't that many skills for generalist without it being like distance specific. Right? It's just like you're not gonna find enough no condition white skills to pick up. So you have to pick up these white skills. How many is there? Like there's only so much white skills you can pick up that is generalist. Whereas like I'm using pace because pace is the strongest right now in terms of supporter cards. But like, somebody who's playing pace chaser can pick up that and like half of these pace chaser skills. And like that's just the name of the game. It's just how many skills you own. Do you ever think of skipping Ramonu if you're gonna pull on McQueen Wit? Mm, that's kind of hard to answer. I definitely think you skip TM Opera O Wit because it's all too specific of a card. But hmm. You gravitate towards pace. It's a pretty big gap for not having a wit card. Like it's 6 months without the de facto best wit card. Hmm. But generally, yes, you only run one wit card. Uh, like from Project La Arc onwards, you generally only run one wit card. But I don't know, 6 months without, because like the issue is that the reason why nobody runs more than one wit card on Meiji Ramonu is because Meiji Ramonu is so strong that she can solo carry wit. Um, Also in Grandmasters, I don't think Grandmasters you don't run solo wit. Grandmasters you run double wit. But after Grandmasters, while in La Arc, like Meiji Ramonu is strong enough that she can solo carry you. Um, so like you'd also like be really weak at the start of La Arc, right? Until Metro McQueen Wit. Because like in La Arc, Metro Romo can get you to like 1200 wit. And it's like you're kind of giving up like 70% of the CMs by the start of Metro Ramona's release. Like I think most miles and mediums kind of are decided by who owns Metro Ramona, because she just gives too many good skills for the miles and the mediums. Like she has 60% frequency with it's like every hint you grab from her, gives you max level hints. There's Ascendance. Could borrow Ramona until McQueen Wit. Yeah, I mean, I think like you'd have to wait until you're closer. I don't think I can. Um, I don't think I think it's just too far off now. Like you don't know what the rest of your deck looks like. But it's like kind of in the arc you want to borrow a guts card because like you're not pulling on a guts card. So I think like in the arc you kind of want to borrow a guts card or like I don't know, not really a speed card. I think it's like really awkward. Maybe if it was like Mihono Bourbonwit, because like you would want to run this. I can see you skipping Metro Ramonu. It's just like the gap between Ramonu and McQueen is so big that like you're giving up a lot of strength. I mean, obviously, if you like take a break from the game, then sure skip it. I don't know, locking your borrow slot to a card makes no sense to me because like it's kind of like the thing where it's like, would you run a deck without Key to some black because you could have just borrowed Key to some black the whole time? It's like, I don't know, freeing up your borrow slot gives you so much more flexibility than permanently borrowing like the same thing. And it's like Measure Ramona Wit is like one of the cards where it's like you kind of don't really want to borrow something else. Because like you're giving up a 35% friendship bonus with 20% TE, 2 wit bonus, 1 skill point bonus. Like this is a really strong card that you are permanently borrowing. I don't know. Like I can see like the thing for like Super Creek, for example. I can see, you know, oh, I can just borrow that because there's not that many long CMs. But Metro Ramonu lasts, you know, so many. It's miles and mediums, which I guess now is only like 50% and not the 60-70% that I had. But, like this is still quite. Actually, no, that's because I didn't include dirts. Dirts are all miles and mediums, so it's 63% right now is all miles and mediums. Like that's like half the CMs that you would need to borrow it compared to something like Super Creek, where sure, like a stam card is only 21% long tracks that you would want a stam card, and like maybe like 5% of these medium ones, which is like the Tokyo Derby. And it's like, are you going to be playing triple pace for every CM? I don't know. I think it's like the flexibility of Metro Ramono, and also the fact that at the minimum it's 6 months. Like it'll last you 6 months, and you have 120 pulls into it. Like it's 120 pulls is a pretty big discount into pulling for it. Medra McQueen has 0 free pulls, so I guess that doesn't really matter because like you're gonna want it. Okay, I think that is everything that I wanted to go over today. I mean, we just went through the whole schedule. What point should you transition from front maining to pace once front dies? Like in terms of CMs? In CMs, um, you can probably think about transitioning like around here. Like, okay, so like if you look at this, Mihono Bourbon Wit is a really good front card, which released April 27th, 2023. The next front card that was released was a year later. And this is what we mean by like fronts just get no support. Um so I would say like around maybe even earlier. Like you're actually where's Kitas and Black? Kitas and Anime Collab. Probably around when Orfevre Guts released is like the start of the 4 month scenarios. Like fronts kind of died. Like there's gonna be a gap between Mihono Bourbon Wit and like the next front runner exclusive card. So like once you pull on Mihono Bourbon Wit, you should think about transitioning to something else. Because Smart Falcon and Daiwa Scarlet aren't strong enough to come back. But you also still want the front runner cards because you already invested so much into front runners that you'll probably be doing well in League of Heroes. Right? Because you have all the front runner parents, you have the decent front runners. But yeah, I would say like maybe a couple months after. Actually, yeah. Because I think Peterson Black Anime Collab is like the last of the good front runners in terms of CMs. And this is a long track front runner. But definitely once like Jungle Pocket releases, I think you'll see less and less front runners. I mean, front runners are so bad that like Kopano Ricky is better as a pace chaser now. Well, that's also because like every single card released recently was pace chaser. Would free to play struggle to get cards for 2 strategies? I think so, yeah. Like I think free to plays can like pull on the scenario attacks and like um maybe pick up like 1 or 2 style specific cards for one style, and then you would have to kind of borrow it. Why did they give up on front runners? I think just I think just in general there isn't that many front runners, like actual Uma front runners. A lot of them are just pace chasers. Like IRL horses are just like pace chasers. Like there's just gonna be more pace chasers than any other style. Like there's also like not that much support for end closer. Like they've also kind of given up on end closer. Like sure, you got stay gold, but like the only end closer that exists is Orfevre. Like no other end closer comes close to Orfevre's strength. Like end closers are only propped up by how strong she is. So like there's just not enough end closers and front runners, like actual horses that run those positions. So I just think that they release less and less support in the unpopular positions because like because they can't, like there's not going to be that many people who pull for those cards because most people are just playing pace or late. You skip on strong Umas if you can't get the card to support their styles. Not the limited ones. The limited ones are strong because their kit is very strong. Except Jungle Pocket. Jungle Pocket's kind of weak. Yeah, I would say like Jungle Pocket's kind of weak. But like Gentle Donna, Orfevre, Chronogenesis, like they all have just insanely strong kits. Chronogenesis, all her skills last twice as long as everyone else. Orfevre has been the end closer for 2,000 meters plus for the past 2 years now. Gentle Donna kind of lost her positioning. Yeah, Gentle Donna kind of lost her positioning. Still in Love, I'm kind of like iffy about still. I don't think Still in Love's that great. Like I think there's a lot of other pace chasers that perform as well as she does. Or not pace chasers, sorry, late searchers that perform as well as she does. But like these three for sure. Or actually not. Okay, Orfevre and Chronogenesis are like the 2 Umas that like I think are just so strong because of their base kit. Obviously you would still need supporter cards for it, but I wouldn't say like it's that like you shouldn't pull for them. Gran. Okay. There's some that like that aren't there. Like I think Gran holy shit, I'm blanking on her name. Gran Algeria. Like I think she's pretty strong as well. Like that isn't like on miles. She's very strong. Obviously, like also Chronogenesis can only run 2,000 meter to 2,500 meter. Orfevre is 2,000 meter plus. So like on miles, you would still need your own Uma. So like Gran Algeria is like a miler late surger that's really strong. Pace chaser, miler. Taiki. I do say like it's defined by Chronogenesis and Orfevre, but those are like 2,000 plus. Miles is kind of Gran Algeria. is really strong. Taiki Shuttle camping is pretty strong. I don't know. I think I need to like organize this list based on distance. Yeah, Cinderella Ogre is pretty decent. I think Taiki Shuttle Valentine's is stronger than Cinderella Ogre. But yeah, I don't know. I really like Taiki Shuttle Valentine's kit over Ogre's. Cinderella Ogre's kind of an Arima Keenan, but I think she's better at the Arima Keenan than she is at Miles. Halloween Hishiake Bono is decent at Miles. In terms of pace. Vinemo Wedding can work. Like, I think there's obviously more to the meta than just, I don't know, I complain about Chronogenesis and Orfevre a lot, but I mean, actually Miles I think is now just Taiki Shuttle complaining. But I think like right now it's like for medium tracks it's Chronogenesis Orfevre. For Miles it's Grand Algeria and like Valentine's Taiki and kind of Ogre Cap Cinderella. Does Helios have longevity for Mile? Not really, but she has a decent longevity as a League of Heroes user. But I think Helios is like if you run her as pace, I think you're fine. But you kind of I've seen a lot of Helioses on League of Heroes, surprisingly. Not Runaway. Oh, I need to show upcoming characters. But I think I see Helios as pace a lot more, just because there's more pace support. Because you just need to be 5th or higher. Actually, let me go to her Eva skills because that matters more. 5th or higher at a random point in the middle leg. 5th or higher at a random point in the second half. I don't know, pace is just stronger on Miles. Lates are stronger on mediums. Orfevre is stronger on longs. Helios, I think on release, but will probably be front running, just because front runners are good. Front runners will probably be good until like El Condor passes speed. I think check like on some medium tracks, check is just so busted that it's kind of hard to contest. Long tracks, we have Lose Yourself for lates, Monster for pace, Miles. Maybe they still have a place in Miles as a front runner with Mihona Bourbon Wit. Guess you gotta look into pulling Helios. Yeah, I mean she's just like League of Heroes miler. She's okay as a miler. I think like eventually you'll face someone like Gran Algia right now is like the, when did she release again? After Orfevre? Yeah. So like around when Orfevre released at the 4th anniversary, Gran Algia was really strong. She gets a current speed increase at the 50% mark. And then during the last spurt, she gets another 0.45. Like, this is so stupid. If you're a 4th or below at the 50% mark, gain 3.5% current speed for 3 seconds. Then, during the last spurt, gain another 3 seconds of 0.45. More current speed. During the first half of the final leg, you get current speed. Like, I think the other one's for Turf, right? Which is the evolution of Carefree Stride. Drain 2% on a mile. Actually, it's on any turf track. And in the first quarter random phase, you're fourth or below, gate 0.5 acceleration. Grand LG is like she's not like the de facto miler anymore. I think V Taiki has a run for it now. V Taiki, Ace Chaser, early race get 0.55 target speed increase. Then on mile races, or actually this is on mile races, sorry. On miles just get 0.55 out the gate. Late phase later random. On the random corner, which is like usually when you want to try to hit speed carryover is on the corner. Fifth or higher. Then you get the 0.45, could try to carry over that. And then this is like the main thing. Most of the times, like the meta Uma for a certain distance just has acceleration in their kit. But V-Taiki gets Sheep Stampede, which if you are first place or trying to overtake somebody, you get 0.4 acceleration for 1.5 seconds. Are they not highlighted in the doc because miles aren't common enough? No, they're just way too far in the future. Like anything after like Jungle Pocket, I was just too lazy to fill out. Like they don't even have like a note on it, right? Like it is just too far out, so I didn't really care. I guess Taiki Shuttle I kind of put it out because I started following it after Stay Gold. But yeah, Grand Algeria is kind of far back. But I should probably highlight them. I don't know. It's like a mile runner, I guess, if you care about Minel. Yeah. Like it's just like the current estimations is 2 years from now. Like I don't even that's so far away. But I do want to finish this. I want to do like a tier list for each distance because that's kind of how the game evolves into. Is like mainly distance. But I don't know how to organize it. Like I want to do a tier list for it, but then it's like really awkward if I put like Orfevre up there, but like Orfevre is like 2 years away. Same thing with Grand Algeria. It's like she's 2 years away. It's also awkward because like a lot of the front runners that I have in here are like dirt. I don't know how to organize this. I haven't decided. Separated by era. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I separate it by like I don't know. I think I just have to do a whole bunch of tabs. But how long have I been an Uma Musume fan for? I think since like the release of the game. So I feel old. I mean, they just had their 5th anniversary, right? So I guess 5, like 4.5 years. I mean, actually, I was gonna say 4 years because I kind of took a break here. I kind of took a break after, I guess not from the 4th anniversary to the 5th anniversary. I took a break since the start. I guess from here until like Still in Love. 4.5 years. I don't know. When I graduated like as I was finishing up college, like I had to take a break from Uma Musume. But I was not a fan of the first season of the anime, but I was a fan of the game, and now now I've consumed everything. I've consumed everything except Star Blossom. I haven't read that. But I have consumed everything of Uma Musume except Star Blossom. I think that's the only thing I haven't consumed. I don't know when I'm gonna start on Star Blossom. The movie was fun. I hate the movie theaters. Yeah, I think I just like dislike the movie theaters too much. Um, to go. Also, I've already watched it. Well, I watched it without subtitles because I watched the original Blu-ray. But you know, I watched the clips of the races that they posted. It's good enough. I think once they like actually release it fully, once it's out of theaters, I'll rewatch it. Who's my favorite Uma? I think it's definitely still Haru. I don't know. I mean, I just liked Haru originally just because like she had the worst kit, and I always have fun playing like with the worst kits. But I think Haru's like grown more on me. But definitely Haru's top there. I also just really like Ogre Cap. Like I read Cinderella Grey. Not since the beginning. I read Cinderella Grey, like, and I followed Cinderella Grey for like almost 2 years now. I don't know, maybe 3 years. I think I started reading Cinderella Grey 3 years ago. I think it released it like in like 2020. It's such an old series. But I think I started in 2022. So like there was already 60 chapters out, I think, when I read Cinderella Grey. But like, I don't know. I read it like I think Cinderella Grey grew a lot on me. Surprisingly, I don't like Tamamo Cross though. I don't know. I'm very like indifferent to Tamamo Cross. But I like Ogre. Actually, in reality, my number one is Folk Queen. I really like Folk Queen from Cinderella Grey, but like I don't think she's ever gonna be an actual like I don't think she's ever gonna be put into the game. So I have to like agree. I really like my actual number one is Folk Queen, and I think I've said that since um I mean since I started this channel. But like it's Folk Queen, then Haru, then Ogre. My favorite is Gold Ship. I think I like Gold Ship less now. I'm thinking about pulling for her low arc version though. I kind of like her low arc kit. Her the baguette kit. Project low arc Gold Ship is pretty decent. Maybe I'll get back to her. She has Encroaching Shadow. She has actually maybe I don't want this short delay. I don't know. I put her on the her kit is so funny. The Project La Arc one, you get more target speed if you had a late start. Um but her track demon or sorry, on bad condition tracks, you get that start delay. So like you get the oh, I'm blanking on what this skill is called. Late starts. I don't know. I think the kit is so funny to have like your condition to be having a late start. I do not want to run. I'm not pulling out the summer cold ship. I will not be pulling on that. Ugh. I hate the summer cold ship skill though. Or track list. Did Cinderella Grey and did the anime get greenlit for another season? I can't remember. But have they put an announcement out for another season? Because it ended during Christmas, right? Yeah, I remember one, but I can't remember if they announced it. Okay, they said it was in the works. Okay, that's what I thought. Because I remember they announced something for it, so I brought it up, but I don't know if there was a date or not. I don't know. Once I see Folk Queen animated, that's all I want. I just want to see Folk Queen animated. Her design is so good. Oh man, I gotta go. What if Uma Musume had American horses? I feel like they can now. Now that they have the Breeders' Cup. Now that they have the Breeders' Cup in the game, like, I can't imagine they can't get the rights to some of the horses. Did I follow horse racing before Uma Musume? Not closely, but in college, I lived 30 minutes away from a racetrack, like a... Dude. I'm gonna feel like now I'm just gonna dox myself to where I went to college. Alright, whatever. My college was like 30 minutes away from the Del Mar racecourse. So, like, I went to the Del Mar racecourse, like, quite often. Like, maybe once a month. So, like, I didn't, like, fully follow horse racing. Like, I wasn't doing, like, really big bets or anything, because I was a college student. But, like, once a month, maybe, like, I'd watch a race at the Del Mar tracks. Yeah, there's no way Cinderella Grey doesn't have a season 2. But I would say, like, I would say I got into, like, both of them around the same time. Yeah, Del Mar has really nice seats. I wanted to go for the Breeders' Club, but I got busy with work, so I couldn't, like, get the day off to fly down to San Diego. No, I guess Del Mar. Yeah, Del Mar's a really nice track. They have really nice shade. It's nice being in seats in the shade. Yeah, maybe next year I'll go for the Breeders' Cup. Yeah, I'm not like that big into, like, I know like the prominent horses and like the main races, but I wouldn't say like I guess, yeah, I follow horse racing, but I wouldn't say I'm like big into horse racing. It's just something that I know of. The Del Mar track is really nice. Okay, well, I need to do like, I don't know, I think I have like 4 more no, I have 3 more barrows that I need to finish today. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Yeah, it was really weird at the start of the stream that there was a couple of hiccups, but at least it didn't show up for the actual like Rib Banner review. I do have the Discord down below if you guys have like any more questions. But the next time I stream, well, actually probably in like 2 days, I'll stream on the 2nd of March. Is that the 2nd of March? Yes, the Monday, the 2nd of March. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will catch you guys all later. Bye bye. I didn't realize the